Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. We are so excited to have everyone join us this Saturday morning. Such an important election is coming up, and we have a great slate of candidates for all the districts. This is a community forum, and so the organizations that you will hear from are committed to this community and have been actively advocating for our students and our teachers and our school staff, especially during this trying time of the pandemic. We will have a pretty long day today. And that said, this is extremely important. As you can see, we're going to show you some slides that talk about the districts that we will be questioning the candidates for. And if you could show the slides, please. So we are going to be talking to candidates from District 1, 3, 4, and 5. The first slide, if you can go to the first slide, please. Before that, this election will be held on Saturday, May 1st, 2021. That's only a couple of months away. Early voting begins April 19th and runs to April 27th. Just to give you an idea of how important this race is, the last time we voted in 2017 and 2019, the votes ranged from 1,152 votes to 2,652 votes per district. That means that less than 3,000 people voted for each district. And they have made a lot of decisions that affect our school system and taxpayers. We're extremely excited to have these organizations here, and we want to make sure that everyone understands that the organizations who are participating are doing so because of their commitment to the community, but they are not endorsing any of the candidates. We are very grateful for the candidates who took the time to hear from the organizations and to also be questioned by the organizations. And so we're going to go ahead and go through the slides for the districts very quickly so that the public has an idea of what these districts are impacting. The schools within District 1 are Bowie High School and El Paso High School. So the elementaries that feed into these two high schools are part of District 1. The candidates are Leah Hanani, Arturo Dominguez, and Jenny Tipton Lasley, who is not here. The next district is District 3. Austin High School is the high school for that district, and of course the elementaries feed into that. The District 3 candidates are Josh Acevedo, who is here, and the other two who are not, Leslie Horde and Rene Fierro. District 4 includes Chapin High School, and the District 4 candidates are Faino Pierre, Betty Ann Halliburton, and Francis Whitaker, all who are here. Diane Dye, who is the incumbent, and Isabel Hernandez are not here. District 5 includes Andress High School and Urban High School. It's also in the Northeast. The District 5 candidates are Jerome Tillman, Willetta Corbett, and Vanessa Betts. Stephen Hayes, unfortunately, could not be here due to a tragedy in his family. And with that, we're going to begin by asking each of the candidates, and I will call your name, to tell us who you are. Please, if you're an educator, or if you feel comfortable, if you're a parent, tell us what schools you're associated with and have been involved with, either as a staff member or a volunteer. And please tell us why you believe you're the best candidate. You're going to have 2 minutes to answer this first question. So we're going to start with the candidates for District 1. And we're going to go through each candidate. We're going to go through the list this time around by alphabetical order. Okay, so if everyone is ready, and again, once you start to speak, please unmute yourself. The first candidate we're going to hear from is Mr. Arturo Dominguez for District 1. Please tell us who you are and why you believe you're the best candidate.
Buenos dias a todos. Good morning, everybody. My name is Arturo Dominguez. I was born here in El Paso and raised within the city and the borderland. I attended Irving High School, graduated. Then I was fortunate enough to earn a scholarship to the University of Texas at El Paso. where I earned my bachelor's and master's degree. I then served in the military, specifically in the Air Force. Upon my return, I was asked to apply for the job again at Riverhead High School, both as a teacher and a coach, where I served for 31 years, very happy and successful, by the way. I retired because of family emergencies, but I kept busy by volunteering in the Segundo Barrio community in schools. And I was able to start and initiate a tennis program, Tenis en el Barrio, at Guillén, and later at Zavala and Douglas. Now I'm going to tell you why I'm running. First of all, I love the city. I want to make the city better. I have lived in this district for 31 years. I feel that the district has been mismanaged. I'm running to improve the district. I'm also running on a community and communication priority. And on top of that, I'm running on transparency in order to keep the district running. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dominguez. And now our second candidate for District 1 is Leah Hanani.
Good morning, everybody. I was born and raised also in El Paso, Texas. I grew up in the Lower Valley. I went to high school at Riverside, and I did my undergrad at UTEP. I've worn several hats throughout my career. I worked at UTEP in their athletic department. I was in healthcare administration on the marketing side, and I've been a career and technology education teacher at Parkland High School for going on 7 years now, and that's what I currently do. I have a master's degree in educational leadership, and I am principal certified. I also have 4 teacher certifications ranging from grades pre-K through 12. I'm a mom of 5. 2 of my children are currently attending EPISD schools. One's at Mesita and one's at El Paso High School. And my 2 youngest are on their way in. I also have 1 in college. So I know what it's like to teach virtually, and I also know what it's like to have children who are learning virtually. I'm a product of the public schools, and so are my children. By the time my youngest graduates from high school, I will have had 1 or more children in the public school system for 35 years. So I do have skin in this. I believe that our neighborhoods thrive when our public education system does, and that's the platform I'm running on. What's at stake in this school board election is a structure that plans for equity, safe schools, productive spending, and a superintendent committed to that equity and access. I look forward to expanding on my thoughts on those issues today and in the next couple of months.
Thank you. Moving on to District 3 candidates, the incumbent Josh Acevedo.
Hi, so I'm excited to be here today with many of these groups that I've worked with over the past 2 years that I've been on the school board. You know, when I got elected, we were elected with the mandate. Myself and 2 of my other colleagues were elected overwhelmingly for something of bringing transparency and accountability to the school district that was really lacking. There were a lot of issues, and I'm really proud to say that in the 1.5 years that I've been at EPISD, I think we're in a much better state. I still think we have some work to do as far as bringing transparency and accountability to the district, but we're going in the right direction at this point. I ran originally because I wanted to, I didn't like the direction that the district was going. I grew up in Central El Paso. I went to Houston Elementary. I went to Cordova Middle School, right, which is now Armendariz, which is now gonna go away and turn into Navarrete. And then I went to El Paso High. And so my elementary and middle school are now closed. I only have 1 high school to go back to. And so this has motivated me to serve my community. And in a second term, I want to continue that service on the board on bringing back, you know, that trust that the public has lost in EPISD. Slowly but surely, we've been working on that. I've been inclusive of the community, you know, text messages, calls, Facebook messages, in person when we were out there, you know. I'm hoping we could do that very soon. And I work at UTEP now, and I've worked in other roles at UTEP before. I have 2 masters, political science and public administration, and I'm currently a doctoral candidate for a doctorate of education and educational leadership and administration at UTEP. So I've done all my education at UTEP and I've been here in El Paso. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from the District 4 candidates who are present. The first one is Ms. Betty Ann Halliburton. You're muted, Ms. Burton, Ms. Halliburton.
You're on mute.
I am. Good morning. I'm Betty Ann Halliburton. I'm a graduate of Eastern New Mexico University, and I've taught for many years, but I decided to work for the U.S. government because they paid a lot more. My interest in running for the school board is there are 83 schools in the El Paso Independent School District. When I look on great schools and judge the schools by 11 criteria, a lot of the schools are not coming up to the academic standard that I believe they should. It's the largest school district. It has the most money. We're building new buildings, and they're supposed to be implementing a new curriculum. So I'm joining the school board to make sure that that curriculum is implemented. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Feno Pierre.
Buenos dias. Good morning, my fellow Pastrans. My name is Feno. I'm a son of immigrants, a factory worker. Also, I'm a combat veteran. I served in the military in the past. I also have a bachelor's degree from UTEP, and I also had a master's degree from Webster University, my MBA. And also, I'm a diesel mechanic. Why I'm running, I mean, look, what's at stake here, we have like an incumbent is not being held accountable. He's not even like showing up to answer questions. Why I'm running, teacher pays. When you look at the pandemic, the systematic inequality in the Northeast, when you have like in El Paso, 4% of the Black community, minority, people of color live, most of them live in the Northeast. We do not have representation. I raise those questions countless times. I reach out, I email. We don't get it. We don't have anything to show up for. So the income is not being held accountable, it's not answered to parents, the citizens, and the taxpayer in the Northeast. So I'm running because I want to teacher pays in ballot. Safety, school safety. We don't have a good protocol to protect our teachers. We don't have proper PPE. So that's where I'm running. So I'm running to be an ally to students, teachers, pretty much all those issues we're going to be discussing today. Thank you.
Thank you. And then for District 4, Frances Whitaker.
Yes, good morning. My name is Frances DeSantos Whitaker, and I am a proud graduate of Austin High School. I'm born and raised in El Paso, and I received my Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies at UTEP. I taught 4 years in El Paso ISD at Dowell and at Douglas Elementary. And I moved to San Antonio in 1996, and I served 22 years there in San Antonio as a teacher and an administrator. I do have 2 master's degrees. I have one, a Master's of Arts in Bilingual Bicultural Studies, as well as a Master of Education in School Administration from Trinity University. I'm running because I believe that as an educator and retired, I can make a difference in students' lives. It's time to get our kids up to par for jobs that we don't even know exist yet. And the way to do that is to teach them to problem solve and also to prepare them for the global world. So that's why I'm running.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from the candidates for District 5, and the first one by alphabetical order will be Ms. Vanessa Betts.
You're on mute, Ms.
You're on
Betts.
mute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Betts. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I've been here for 18 years. Before living here, I was in a little small town called Clovis, New Mexico, where I worked in education. I was a part of the groundbreaking program for computers. Computers were in the classroom, and about in the early 90s, they decided to have computer labs where students can have the computers and come together and do their assignments. And that was rather new. I lived there, El Paso, and I've been here for 18 years. I'm a mother of four. I have 11 grandchildren and one great grandchild. And with all that being said, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have I am an advocate for children's literacy. I think it's so important that kids begin to understand just how important it is to know how to read and write the basic things. I've written 4 books, I've published 3, and I really try to encourage children to read and understand the importance of it. The reason I am running is because of equity in the school. I see a lot lacking. And so because of that fact, we have a lot of people that are going to charter schools. I feel that the public school should be able to offer the same things as the charter schools, the same quality of education and the same dynamics that the charter school. And that's what I want to bring to the table, to see if there's cohesiveness between the school board and the teachers and the students, as well as the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Ms. Willetta Corbett. If you can unmute yourself.
Good morning. My name is Willetta Corbett. I'm a 3rd generation educator. And there's a school in the Mesquite ISD outside of Dallas, actually named for my grandfather. So as a 3rd generation educator, I bring, I think, an understanding of how important and critical an education is, and especially a public education for generations to advance. If I told you that my grandfather's father was a slave, that tells you how important education is. I graduated from Andrews High School when I was 16, went to college at an HBCU, which is a historical Black college and university. Hey, hey, Black History Month. And I came back to El Paso in 1976, and I started teaching at El Paso High, 8th grade, when I was 19. I hold a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, of course, in secondary ed. I taught at Andrews High School. I was an administrator at Urban, both within my district, and I am a product of the CISD. I think that the most important things that are in front of us, and one of the primary reasons I decided to run, was the restoration of community. The community of El Paso is particularly unique and special, and we need to restore that sense of community. Education is one of the foundations of the city, like transportation, like religion and arts, like different elements. And so I'd like to just see us be more decent and to do the right thing. And El Paso knows how to do that. That's why I'm running.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Jerome Tillman.
Jerome Tillman is my name. I am one of the original members of the District Education Improvement Council when it was first established for the school district. 17-year classroom teacher, retiree from El Paso schools. I also taught post-secondary education in the college and university network, both at the community college, UTEP, and the University of Phoenix. Former development director at the Greater El Paso Chamber of Commerce to make sure that our education system and our economic system were married well, so that we were educating students who would be ready for the labor force here in El Paso to mitigate the unemployment rates that we had here for a long time, as well as improve the graduation rates here in El Paso. As a PTA president at Canyon Hills Middle School, my sons are both products of the public education system, both graduates of Irving High School, scholarship, one to Rice University in Houston. That was Jonathan. Jeffrey was scholarship to Notre Dame University in South Bend, Indiana. I'm a graduate of the Command and General Staff College for the military, 21 years as a combat veteran there. I retired here. Western Kentucky University for a master's degree in public administration, and Webster University for human resources management, human resources development. Principal concern for me in this election cycle is this hybrid that we're going through with the coronavirus. We have got to make sure we have teacher safety at the pinnacle of anything that we do. I'll pivot from that for just a minute to go to one of the responsibilities, or several of the responsibilities that we have as members of the board. One of which is the employment of the superintendent. And if we take a look at the past two.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tillman, your time is up, sir.
Okay, thank you. I didn't get the thumbs up in there. I thought I was gonna get a thumbs up, but go ahead.